Okay, hi, welcome back everyone. If you are new here, I'm Miss Chang. Okay, today is the last lesson of term 2 already, okay, our lesson 5. So let me give you a little bit of an introduction, okay, as usual, before we go on to the questions. Okay, so I'm from Maths Accelerator Center. Okay, we specialize in math, right? And we help students with borderline grades turn around the results within a short period of time. So many students coming to us, okay, worried about their problem sums, okay, be it they're not able to identify the keywords, okay, or maybe they know the strategy but they're not able to apply it, right? So at the center, we help students to solve problem sums step by step. Okay, every type of problem sum has a method to it, okay, step by step to solving it. Okay, so what are the objectives of these lessons? Okay, is to improve the students' understanding and confidence in tackling problem sums. Right, so no need to fear the problem sums. Okay, it's actually very manageable as long as you have some guidance. Okay, it will demonstrate how they are solved systematically. Okay, as I mentioned, there are a few steps to solving them. Okay, as long as you know how to start off solving the question using the strategy we teach you, okay, you'll be able to improve a lot. Okay, so we also cover the topics that are integral to the upcoming assessments. So some of you might have finished your WA2. Okay, some of you might not have. So you might be taking your exams maybe next week. So this is to help you revise for it as well. Okay, and also if it's the long term, okay, we're looking at laying the foundation for PSLE if you're primary 5, if you're primary 6 this year. If you're primary 5 this year, okay, this will also be relevant to you next year. Okay, so you start early, right? You have a longer runway to prepare yourself. Okay, so what's the lesson outline? As usual, we'll be doing strategy 1 first, okay, and strategy 2 afterwards. Okay, so later on, we'll take a look at which strategy we're doing. Right, so the ground rules here, okay, audio is muted, communication will be through the chat. So you can participate by answering questions or asking questions in the chat. Okay, no spamming of the chat, talk about relevant things, okay, please be considerate. Okay, listen attentively, write down the solutions and have fun. Okay, so before I go to the questions, okay, some of you, okay, if you remember, we do have a lucky draw, which is the bonus quiz. So thank you to all of you who participated in the bonus quiz. Okay, we have tabulated the results and the results are out. So at the end of today's lesson, I'll be doing the lucky draw and we'll see who will win. We have 3 lucky winners. Okay, who will win the $50 worth of prizes. Okay, so you can look forward to that. Let's go to the questions first. Right, so today we'll be covering ratio for the first strategy, and later on, okay, we'll be doing some whole number questions. Okay, as revision. So what are the steps to doing the total unchanged for the ratio questions? Okay, if you know last lesson, okay, we did single unchanged. That is different from total unchanged. So they can come out different types of questions. Okay, this is just one type. Last week was another type. Right, total unchanged, we first fill in the BCA table, okay, which is before, change, and after. We make the total values in the before and after rows equivalent using our common multiple. After that, we find one unit and we can solve our answer already. Okay, so you can write down whatever you've learned into this box, okay, so you can revise it before your exam. Okay, so let's start with the first question. Okay, the ratio of boys to girls in the cinema is 1 to 3. Okay, 1 is to 3. So if they tell you boys to girls, you have to follow along. Boys to girls. Okay, after 15 more boys entered the cinema and 15 girls left the cinema, the ratio of boys to girls in the cinema became 2 is to 3. Okay, find the number of boys in the cinema at first. So your first step is to write down the table. Okay, we have BCA, so B for before. Okay, leave some space and write C for change. Leave some space and we're gonna write A for after. Alright, so this is gonna be boys to girls. So fill in the table. The starting ratio is 1 is to 3. Okay, and the after ratio according to the question, okay, after 15 more boys entered and 15 girls left, it became 2 is to 3. Okay, so what's the change here? Okay, so why did the ratio change? It's because 15 more boys entered the cinema. So if they enter the cinema, that's going to be plus 15. So that's the change for the boys. Okay, so just take note, the plus 15 is the actual number of boys who entered. Okay, whereas the ratio is like your units. As for girls, okay, what's the change? 15 girls left the cinema. So if they leave, that is subtract 15 away. So minus 15. Okay, so how do you recognize this is a total unchanged question? Okay, in the exam, they won't tell you this is a total unchanged question. You have to recognize it yourself. So how do you know? Okay, they add 15 to the cinema, and then they go and minus 15 again. So the total number of people in the cinema must be the same. It didn't change. So you add 15 minus 15, the total shouldn't change. So let's check. 3 plus 1 in the before, that is 4. Okay, 4 units. At the end, 3 plus 2, that is 5. Okay, so your total shouldn't change, but in this case, 4 and 5 is different. So we have to make it the same. So using the common multiple of 4 and 5. Okay, what's the first common multiple of 4 and 5? You can type in the chat. Okay, we use the first one because we don't want the numbers to get too big. Okay, thank you. A lot of you typing 20. So let's use 20. Okay, you can use a different colored pen. Okay, to help you differentiate, this is times 5 times 4. Okay, so we use 20 here. So if it's ratio, okay, you cannot just times 5 to one of it. Okay, you have 3 items, you times 5 throughout. So do the same, okay, for the 3 here. 3 times 5, 15. 1 times 5, 5. Okay, same for the after ratio. Okay, you're going to have 3 times 4, 12. And 2 times 4, 8. So now, okay, you have 5 to 8 units. 5 to 8 units, okay, how many units do you add in between? Okay, here's 20 here. Okay, IDT. Yep, Shivani, correct. 5 to 8, you add 3 units. Yes, Kenny, that's correct. Okay, 3 units. Now let's check, is it the same for the girls? 15 units to 12 units. We subtracted also 3 units. So this tells you that 3 units will be 15. Therefore, 1 unit, okay, we can look for it, 15 divided by 3. Okay, then don't stop here. Okay, a lot of you, after you find 1 unit, you think is the answer. Okay, go back to the question. They want the boys in the cinema at first. So look at your table. Okay, we want boys. At first, you must be looking at before. But we have two numbers here, 1 unit and 5 units. So which one do we use? Is it 1 unit or 5 units for the boys at first? Can you type into the chat? Okay, very good. Okay, those of you who type 5 units, okay, that's correct. So 5. We always look at the correct ratio, the one that the total is the same, which is the green ratio in this case. So 5 units will be your 5 times 5, 25. Yes, so okay, the number of boys in the cinema at first will be 25 boys. That's your answer. Okay, let's go on. Question 2. Okay, if you're still not sure how to do it, okay, we'll look at question 2. It might be clearer for you. Okay, you're just still copying this, the final steps. You can copy this. Okay, for question 2, let's read the question first. Okay, the ratio of the number of marbles Diana has to the number of marbles Rachel has is 5 to 7. Okay, so this is D is to R. Okay, so you can write it down if you don't want to write it wrongly later on. Okay, D to R. When Diana gives 48 marbles to Rachel, okay, she has 3/5 the number of marbles Rachel has. So now, how do you know it's a BCA question? They give you a starting ratio, something happens in between, and they give you an after ratio. But in question 2, they did not give you an after ratio. Okay, but this fraction here, we can also use it to write our ratio. So she has 3/5 the number of marbles Rachel has, which means after Diana gives 48 to Rachel, she would now have 3 units. Okay, this is Diana. So you can draw your arrows, right? And the 5 is going to belong to Rachel. Okay, Rachel is in the next line here. So 3 numerator to Diana and 5 denominator to Rachel. So that ratio would be 3 to 5. So let's put it into our table. Okay, we have B4. Leave some space, change. Okay, leave some space and put after. Okay, so now we're going to have D to R. Fill it in. Okay, fill in your table. 5 to 7. Okay, and we're going to have 3 to 5 at the end. Okay, so don't panic if you see fraction, you can also change it to ratio. So what's the change? Okay, Diana gives 48. You give 48 means you must have subtracted 48 away. So for Diana, her change is minus 48 marbles. She gives these 48 marbles to Rachel. So Rachel will receive the 48. So if you're receiving, okay, you should be adding. Okay, because you have more now. Plus 48. So if you minus 48, and then you go and plus 48 again, okay, this is internal transfer. They're giving each other. Do you think the total would change? Minus 48 plus 48. Would the total change? Okay, I see a lot of you saying no. Okay, it wouldn't change. Okay, so that's correct. Your total wouldn't change. You minus 48, you plus 48. Okay, you minus and plus the same number. Both of them, the number of marbles, okay, in total will be the same. So let's check. 7 plus 5. Okay, that would be 12 units here. 5 plus 3. Okay, that would be 8 units. 12 and 8, not the same. Okay, so we must do something to it. If it's the same, we don't need to do anything. Okay, we can just compare. But now cannot because the total isn't the same. Okay, so let's make it the same using your common multiple. Okay, first common multiple of 12 and 8, what would that be? Okay, fantastic, 24. Alright, so use your different colored pen. Okay, we're gonna have 24 here and 24 here. So times 2 times 3. Okay, so this is ratio, you times 2, cannot times 2 to one of it only. Okay, you times 2 throughout. So 7 times 2 is your 14. 5 times 2 is your 10. Alright, and then in the after ratio, do the same thing. 5 times 3, 15. 3 times 3, 9. Why times 2? Because from 12 to 24, you must times 2. From 8 to 24, you times 3. You want to make it 24. Okay, so it depends on how you want to make it 24. Okay, so you times 2 times 3. Okay, so now that your total is the same, 24 and 24, okay, we can compare. So from 10 units to 9 units, 10 minus 9 is 1. So you subtracted 1 unit in between. Then we check for Rachel. She had 14 units at the start, 15 units at the end. She added 1 unit. So it makes sense. Diana gave that 1 unit away and Rachel received that 1 unit. So that 1 unit is going to be the 48 marbles. Right, so 1 unit is 48. Okay, then let's read the question. How many marbles does Rachel have after receiving the marbles from Diana? So we're talking about Rachel after receiving. So is it 5 units or 15 units we're looking at? Can you type in the chat? Is it 5 units or 15 units we're looking at? Okay, very good. Yes. Okay, so many of you tell me 15. Okay, so that's correct. We're looking for 15 units because this is the correct ratio. We always look at the ratio that the total is the same. Okay, so now we look at 15 units. 48 times 15. Can you calculate? What's your final answer? Okay, thank you. 720. Okay, so I had a question. Okay, it's lost up there already. Okay, so one of you asked, what happens if you have a minus 1 unit here, and this ends up being plus 2 units? Okay, so if that happens, then something is wrong. Most likely you didn't times correctly. Okay, over here, or the question isn't a total unchanged question. Okay, and you went to find something else. So if it's different, okay, it's a different type of question, then you shouldn't be doing total unchanged, right? So if this is a total unchanged question and you times correctly here, they will definitely be the same units here, minus 1 plus 1, okay? Yeah, okay, no problem. Why do we have to use 15 units? Okay, because 5 units is in the ratio that's not correct. You see, 3 to 5 to 8. This is 5 to 7 to 12. The total isn't the same. We must use the ratio that the total is the same. Okay, because this question tells you, okay, that total is unchanged after Diana gives 48 to Rachel. So 24, 24, the green ratio is the one we're looking at. So instead of 5, we should be looking at 15 units. Okay, right. Let's go to the next question, question 3. Okay, good. Now you're asking questions. When in doubt, you'll just ask. Okay, clarify your doubts. Okay, I'm gonna clear question 2 already. So quickly copy whatever you have not copied. Okay, those of you who are done with question 2, you can start to fill in the table for question 3 already. Okay, if you're confident. Okay, try and apply what we just learned from question 1 and 2. Okay, so question 3. The ratio of the amount of money Aero had to the amount of money Ben had was 9:16. So after after Aero gave $8 to Ben, okay, the ratio of the amount of money she had to the amount of money Ben had was 1:4. So ratio at the start, ratio at the end, in between something happened. This is definitely BCA question. Okay, so let's fill in the table. Before, okay, leave some space, change, leave some space, and put after. So this is going to be Aero to Ben. Okay, so read the question carefully, not Ben to Aero. Okay, Aero to Ben. If you do it the other way around, then the whole question wrong already from the start. Okay, so read carefully. Okay, 9:16. After ratio, it became 1:4. In between, Aero gave $8. You give away means you subtract $8 away. So under Aero here will be -8. Okay, you can also put -$8. Okay, because this is the actual amount given. Whereas these are ratio, these are units. Okay, so Ben is going to receive the $8, that is +8. So now you -8 + 8, total is unchanged, right? Because internal transfer. Okay, Aero gave to Ben. So check the total. Okay, check if it's the same. So 16 + 9, okay, that will be 25. Okay, then you check 4 + 1, 5. Okay, definitely not the same. Okay, not the same. So what do? Make it the same, right? Because your total shouldn't change. So this is 25 and 5. Do you think you need to make the common multiple to both of it? Do you need to times anything to both before and after? Okay, so yes, you can, but it's going to be very big, the number. So all you need to do is, yes, okay, I see a lot of you typing in the chat already. Just need to take 5 times 5. Okay, 25, 25. Now that can same already. So it's not always that you need to time something to both of it. You just need to make sure you're multiplying it so that they can become the same. There are times where you don't even need to times anything. When it's already the same, you can just compare straight away. Okay, that's if the question is simpler. So you times throughout, this is 20, and 1 times 5, 5. Okay, so now your correct ratio, okay, is the one that the total is 25 and 25. So now go and compare. What will your $8 be? How much would Aero have at first? Okay, so I'm going to start a poll now. Can you try this by yourself? Okay, go and compare before and after. How many units change first? That's gonna be the number of units for the $8. Okay, those of you who are stuck, I'll give you a hint. Okay, from 9 to 5 and from 16 to 20. Okay, how many units changed? Okay, go and check. That's the hint I can give you. Okay, I'll review the answer. Okay, so we let the rest try first. Okay, I'll give you a bit more time, those of you who are still solving it. Okay, a few more seconds. I'm gonna end the poll. So if you have your answer, okay, quickly go and select it. It's okay if you choose wrongly. You just know which one you choose can already. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna stop the poll here. Anyone still need some time to finish it? Okay, so let's check out. Alright, so okay, the vast majority of you chose $18. Okay, that is correct. So some of you chose 32 as well, and a few of you choose $2. Cannot be $2 now, You see, Aero gave $8 to Ben, so $2 is not even enough for you to give $8 to Ben. Okay, so let's see what happens here. How did your friends get $18? Now, okay, so all of you can tell me 9 to 5 here, okay, is 4 units difference, which means in between you minus 4 units. Okay, and you add 4 units here. 16 to 20, you plus 4, which means the $8 will be 4 units. Okay, and you can look for 1 unit, divide by 4, okay, which is your $2. Right, so if you choose $2, that is only 1 unit. Right, you want to look for Aero at first. Okay, Aero at first would be how many units? Look at your table. Okay, we want Aero at first, that would be 9 units. So some of you chose 32. Okay, you chose 32, that is Ben, 16 units, but they want Aero, so that's 9 units. $2 times 9. Okay, that's how you get your $18 as the answer. Okay. Right, so those of you who chose $32, you found Ben at first, okay? So that would be correct if they ask you for Ben, but they're asking you for Ariel, so you should be putting $18. Can, okay, so Lina, you changed the total to 50. That's also okay. That means you're not using the first common multiple. So you can get the same answer if you don't use the first common multiple. Right, as long as the total is the same, okay, you still get the same answer. So the reason why we use the first common multiple is because the numbers are smaller. Okay, you don't want to work with too big of the numbers. It will be very confusing. Okay, Ken, does that answer your question? Okay, so if you're confident, you can go ahead and try question 4 next. Okay, go ahead, you can try question 4. Fill in the table first. Okay, so for question 4, okay, let's fill in the table. Right, the ratio of the number of red beads to the number of blue beads in the box is 1:3 at first. So it's red to blue. Okay, take note, red to blue. After 12 blue beads were removed, okay, and 12 red beads were added into the box. The number of red beads was thrice, okay, the number of blue beads. How many blue beads were there in the box at first? Okay, so they didn't give you a ratio at the end, but thrice, okay, you can still take note of that. That's gonna give you a ratio as well. So let's fill it in. Okay, we have before, change, after. So this is red to blue. Okay, at first it's gonna be 1:3. And at the end, red became thrice of blue. So what do you think is the ratio in the after row over here? What do you think? You can type it in the chat. Using the thrice. Red beads was thrice. Okay, very good. 3 to 1, that's correct. Okay, so 3 to 1, because 3 times means 3 units for the red and 1 unit for the blue. Yes, correct. Okay, yeah. So what's the change? You remove 12 blue beads, so minus 12. Okay, and for the red beads, you add 12. So if you plus 12, that's gonna be under the blue here. Oh, sorry, did I write wrong? Okay, sorry, blue is removed, so minus here, then you add here. Okay, 12 blue removed, and over here is gonna be 12 red added. Okay, so you must read carefully. Okay, even I see it wrongly also. So blue here, 12 removed, minus here. Red here, added, plus 12. So plus 12 minus 12, total wouldn't change. Okay, you add into the box, and then you go and take out from the box. Total shouldn't change. So let's check. Okay, total. 3 plus 1, 4. 3 plus 1, 4. Do you think we need to do anything to the total before and after? Okay, yeah. Okay, great. Okay, Wesley, yeah, Avril. Okay, correct. Okay, total don't need to change because it's already 4 and 4. So this is a simpler question. If it's the same, you can just go and compare here. So 1 unit to 3 units here. Okay, how many units did we add in between? Okay, good. 1 to 3 is plus 2. So plus 2 units. Same here. 3 to 1, you minus 2 units, correct. Therefore, 2 units will be equals to the 12 beads. 1 unit, we can look for it. Okay, divide by 2. 1 unit is 6. So how many blue beads were there in the box at first? Okay, so can you calculate the final answer? Okay, good. See a lot of you putting the answer already in the chat. They want blue at first, so blue at first, 3 units. So times 3 will be 18. So those of you who type 18 in the chat, okay, that's correct. If you didn't get 18, okay, go and check what happened. You used the wrong units. Okay, I think some of you put 24, right? 24 is total beads. They want blue. Okay, so that's only 3 units. Okay, so the question can vary. Some of it wouldn't need you to go and change the total. Some of it will need you to go and change the total to become the same. Okay, so it depends on the question. But as long as you know the steps, okay, you'll be able to solve this type of questions. Okay. Any other questions before I go on? How I got 2 units? The before is 1 unit. The after became 3 units. So 1 plus 2 can get you 3. Okay, or you take 3 minus 1 to get 2. Then you check here also. At first is 3, then became 1. So 3 minus 1, you minus away 2 units to get to 1 here. So if you are minusing 2, okay, that must be the 12 beads that you took away. If you're adding 2, this must be the 12 beads that you added into the box. Okay? Alright, so let's go on to the next part here. Okay, on trending whole number questions, so this won't be ratio anymore. So a revision on your whole number type of questions. Okay, so let's read the question. Jake and Kim had a total of $3,139 at first. After Jake spent $254 and Kim spent $185, Jake had 4 times as much money as Kim had left. How much money did Jake have at first? Okay, so I always tell my students, if Jake had 4 times as much money as Kim had left, how many units would Jake have at the end compared to Kim? 4 times, right? So at the end, if you were to draw a model, what will you draw? Jake will be 4 units left. Okay, and Kim would be 1 unit. So you annotate in your question. Yes, correct, Jeremy. So 4 units here, 1 unit here. That's at the end. Okay, so let's work from the back. Okay, working backwards. Which means we start off here with the 4 units. Okay, and Kim is gonna have 1. But can I label the total as 3,139? Yes or no? Can I put this like that? You type in the chat, yes or no. Is this correct? Okay, good. If you say no, okay, that's correct. You cannot put this here because whatever you drew here is at the end. But you see the 3139 is at first. Okay, so what happened in between? Jake spent 254 before he ended up like this. So you go and add back the 254. Okay, and Kim spent 185. Then she was left with the 1 unit here. So go and add back, okay, the 185. Only then you can label this as 3139. Now it's correct. Okay, we're working backwards. So take note, this is at first, just now our model. Okay, we must add in whatever was spent to go back to the start. So now, okay, things will get easier already. You have 2 extra numbers here. Okay, we're looking for the equal units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. Okay, 185 is not 1 unit. It just so happens it looks like 1 unit. You can draw any length here. It can be longer, can be shorter. We don't know what is 1 unit. Okay, we don't know what is it. Now we're looking for it. So you remove the 2 first, the extra. 3,139 minus 254 minus 185. Can you calculate this? What do you get? Okay, Kevin. Okay, Celeste. 2700. So how many units is your 2,700? Yes, correct. 5. Because inside this, you include these 2. So once you remove the extra, you're left with the 5 equal units. So 5 units will be $2,700. We look for 1 unit. So divide by 5. How would this be? Okay. Use your calculator. 2,700 divided by 5. Yes, 540. Divide 5. You want to find 1. So now, how much money did Jake have at first? Okay, at first, is it just 4 units? Haven't spent the 254, right? So Jake should have the 4 units and 254. Okay, everything here. So Jake at first will be 540 times 4. That's 4 units plus 254. Okay, so you times 4 first and add the 254. What would it be? Okay, thank you. 2,414, yes. Okay, so that's your answer. So you work backwards. Okay, you start off with the 4 times as much, add it back in, okay, whatever was spent, remove it, and look for 1 unit. Okay, let's move on to question 2. Okay, I'll leave question 1 here if you still need it. Okay, this is question 2. So Abigail had 414 packets of buttons. Each packet contains 6 buttons, okay, which means one packet has 6 buttons. She repacked the buttons into packets of 4. How many packets of 4 buttons would she get? Okay, this question is a lot simpler, but some of you might still make some careless mistakes. Okay, or if you read wrongly, then you won't get the question correct. Right, so this is 414 packets of buttons. So one packet is 6 buttons. So how many buttons does she have in total? Okay, total buttons. Okay, yes, those of you who are telling me 414 times 6, that's correct. Okay, because each packet got 6 and we have a total of 414 packets. What will this get you? 2484. Okay, thank you. So you times it to get the buttons. So now, she's going to repack them into packets of 4. So how many packets will she have now? Number of packets of 4. Yes, okay, thank you. 2484 divided by 4. Yes, so your answer will be 621. Yes. Okay, can now? This one quite manageable. Let's move on to question 3. Okay, let's read the question. Okay, Aaron, Benjamin, and Carl have a total of 1082 books. Aaron has 78 more books than Benjamin, and Carl has 134 more books than Benjamin. How many books does Aaron have? Okay, you can see that Benjamin is being repeated twice here. Okay, a lot of words. Let's draw a model so that we can visualize the question better. So let's start with Aaron being 78 more than Benjamin. Okay, and now we're going to have Carl, who is 134 more than Benjamin. So now it's comparing, okay, Benjamin and Carl over here. It's going to be 134 more than Benjamin. Okay, so this is Benjamin. So we draw the same, Benjamin. But it's going to be 134 more. Okay, so you can draw it longer because 78 is smaller than your 134 here. And they tell you in total it's going to be 1082 books. So your equal units, okay, we have this 3 over here. And you have 2 numbers here that are not the equal units. Okay, they are your extras. So what we're going to do, okay, we want to remove the extras and find, yes, correct, 3 units. So remove it first. Okay, 1082 minus 78 minus 134. You can also add it up first, then you minus. It's also fine. What would this get you? Okay, thank you, 870. So this 870 will be equals to the 3 units. So 3 units 870. 1 unit. Okay, we divide by 3. What will this get you? Okay, yes. Thank you. 290. So how many books does Aaron have? Do I leave my answer as 290? Okay, what should you do to find Aaron? Yes, correct. Okay, don't forget plus the 78 because Aaron is not just 1 unit, he's 1 unit plus 78. Okay, so always keep in mind 1 unit is not always your answer. So 290 plus 78. Final answer? Yes, correct. 368. Okay, good. So this is our comparison model. Okay, you need to know how to draw your model. If not too many words, you don't understand what they're talking about. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so if you're still copying, you need the answer key, you let me know later. Okay. Okay, so let's have a recap. Right, today we did total unchanged ratio and trending whole number questions. Okay, for revision. So which were the most difficult? Strategy 1 or strategy 2? None were difficult. Okay. Question 3. Question 2. Okay. Can. So some of you all difficult. Right, so if you find the questions difficult, okay, you probably need to practice more. Okay, maybe you've never seen this type of questions before. They're actually very common. Okay, so if you want more practice, okay, especially since your exams are coming up, okay, your weighted assessment, you need more practice. Okay, we have our upcoming June holiday bootcamp. Okay, starting from primary 4 to sec 4. So if you have siblings and they want to brush up on their mathematics as well, okay, you go and let them know also of your June holiday bootcamp. So I'm gonna send the link to the chat if you wanna go and sign up. Okay, and do more practice. Okay, you can click on the link in the chat here. Okay, so what happens when you click on the link? Okay, it will bring you to this page here. PSLE is for P6, so you have P5, P4, okay, and the secondary level. When you click on it, okay, it will bring you to this page and it tells you what we're going to cover, okay, as well as the dates that you can choose. Okay, we have on-site and online, so you can register, fill in the form here and submit it. Okay, then we'll contact you. Okay, so you go to this page. Okay, if you want to sign up. Okay, everything is here. You can go and take a look. Okay, I sent it into the chat already. Depends on which slot you choose. Okay, if you're asking which one I'll be teaching, okay, depends on which one you choose. Right, we have other teachers also. Alright, so that's for the June holiday bootcamp. Okay, so today is the last lesson of our term 2 revision mini course. So we do want to ask you if you have any feedback, okay, whether you want to continue having more of these lessons. Okay, we need to know if you like it, then we can continue. Okay, so you can click on this link to fill in the feedback form. Let us know if you want to have more of these type of lessons. Okay, then we can see what we can do and arrange more lessons like this. Okay, if you feel that it helps you improve your math. Right, so click on the link and the feedback form, go and fill it in. Okay, you just need to copy paste into your browser. Copy paste. If not, you can go to our website. Okay, our website, we also have the tab over here. Okay, under your free mini course. There you see here. Okay, my face. Okay, course feedback. You press this. They will bring you to this picture. Okay, so you fill it in the form here, alright, and then you just press next. Okay, then you can have the questions to fill in. Okay, thanks for joining us today. Okay, if you have any other questions, you can contact us by email, WhatsApp, okay, or go to our website for more information. Okay, so do go and fill in the feedback form. Okay, feedback form, as well as sign up for our bootcamp, June Holiday Bootcamp, if you want to learn even more. Okay, because within this 1 hour, there's not so much that we can cover. Right, so the bootcamp, there are definitely more questions and more types of strategies that we can apply and teach to you. So if you're interested, okay, do go and sign up for it. Okay.